Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 4th. We're going to jump right in here, Pisces, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. There is going to be a part 2 to this reading for this week, and that'll be in the description down below. So make sure to check that out, but this will be part 1. I kind of had a feeling that it would be a good week for you this week. I'm cheating, but because I looked at the astrology, but so I kind of knew that it would be a much better week for you this week. Much more clarity this week, probably as far as your direction is concerned as well. Like if you have been, I feel you've been very all over the place, maybe with your ideas or the direction of your life. And it's like everything is kind of like sucking back in this week. That's how I see it. You start off with this Ibis card, and it says learning on it. So I don't know. I feel like the past 12 years or so for you, Pisces, has been one big learning lesson, one big spanking from the universe, if you will, right? So I feel there's been a lot of challenges, especially for Pisces. Especially, a few years ago, we had Uranus in our second house for the 8 years that Uranus is in a house, basically. Uranus in Aries in the second house is like the worst. And even if you're not an Aries second house Pisces, it doesn't really matter to me. You probably experienced some challenges as far as predictability is concerned, meaning, if you set out to do something, there probably wasn't much predictability as far as like what the actual outcome was going to be. The other problem is with Uranus and Aries, I feel for you Pisces in particular, it is the fact that you could do something. Maybe you would actually accomplish your goal, but then it gets taken away. It's like there's this element of things being taken away, or feeling like you've climbed a mountain only to find out that you're at the bottom still. It's like that type of feeling. I feel like this is the reason I'm babbling on about this is because of this right here, your Strength card. You have the Strength card, the Knight of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. I'm a little bit concerned about this Knight of Swords because he does go towards the past in the reading. He's aiming he's aiming this direction towards the past of the reading. And so my problem with that is I feel like it's saying don't rush to the past, meaning, in the past, again, like I said, I feel like you're used to climbing a mountain just to find yourself at the bottom again, like right away, and being like, I just climbed that whole mountain. Why am I at the bottom still, I get that feeling here, and I feel like this is saying don't compare new situations to the past in general. You have the Strength card, and the Strength card is like, maybe you have been at the bottom of the mountain, right? But it's kind of like a treadmill. If you're on a treadmill and you're running on a treadmill, it's like, are you making progress? As far as your point in space is concerned, let's get nerdy about it here, Pisces. Are you making progress? No, you're actually just running in the same place, right? But your muscles are getting stronger. I feel like you need to realize that it's like you gained a bunch of skills. It's like, yeah, there were a bunch of failures. And I feel like I said this to you in your April reading in general, and that's where your reading seemed to be going for the month of April, is like needing to realize that you gained a bunch of skills. You didn't, that wasn't a bunch of failures. You were basically running on a treadmill. Very annoying. Nobody actually really wants to run on a treadmill. But at the same time, you kind of strengthened your muscles. And this is in an area of your life that has been very unpredictable, is what I would say. It's going to be different for all of you, but that's kind of what I feel for you here, Pisces. You also have the Ace of Wands. I love this card. I feel like you're feeling very inspired to do something. I also like that this is showing up. You have 2 aces, again, which is blowing my mind. Like 2 aces came up, all up in those April readings, and now they're kind of like showing up here. So, the Ace of Wands is like a passionate new beginning, and I feel like you're feeling very inspired to do something. And even if we look at your next card, you have this Lizard Spirit. It says dream the world into being. So I love this card, and to me it basically says if you can dream it, you can have it. So I feel your dreams are going to be very important for you at this time. I also feel like you need to listen to your heart with the Ace of Cups in this row. It's like the Ace of Cups can represent love, but it can also just be something your heart belongs to. I feel like if you're, I get this weird feeling. I'm just going to tell you, okay? You have the Ace of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Fool card here. I feel that some of you are having a hard time, or did have a hard time getting started on something, and this feels like a project to me. So if you've been thinking about starting a project but you're having a hard time getting started, I feel like the universe is like saying your heart actually belongs to something else. There's something better, there's something bigger that you want to accomplish. So go for the big thing. Don't go for the, for some of you, I kind of get this feeling of settling. Like I feel like I'm settling if I do something. For others, I feel that the challenge is, kind of thinking that you want to start a project, you get really excited, and it's like you're changing to another thing again. This is like the cycle that I feel like you got used to with Uranus in your second house. I know that was a few years ago now, but still, I feel like you're kind of like thinking about that, how maybe you were very chaotic, or maybe life was chaotic, or maybe you were jumping from thing to thing to thing in your life. And so it's like you want the predictability, but now I feel like you're about to make another jump. It's like you're about to do something else again. And, life, it really isn't, set up for that, right? It's like people want us to settle. It's like, how many times have you heard people say, settle down? That drives me crazy. I'm never going to settle down, right? And it's like life is, we're supposed to go to school and go get a career and do like one thing, which is, that's what robots do, right? That's not what human beings do. We are here to create our own reality. And I feel like this row is encouraging you to create something here with this energy. Definitely could be something from the past. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. In this diagonal, you have the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune in the middle here, and then the Judgment card. I do feel a lot of you could be revisiting something from the past. And again, I'm not referring to love here. I'm referring to like an idea, something that you've wanted to do or that you've thought about doing. This gives me vibes of just breathing new life into something. And you have that Judgment card. So, like I said, it's like you're being called again to bring new life into something that maybe is old or an old idea that you've had. And I really feel you just need to kind of like take the leap of faith. I feel like you will be extremely lucky if you take the leap of faith. I feel that your intentions are correct as well with this card. You also have the Star card. The Star card is about being an inspiration. It actually asks you to be an inspiration. That's what I feel like it's at. I feel in this reading, it's asking you to be the inspiration. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I feel like that Pisces is here to inspire people at this time so that you can be much more successful, or that so you can create more success in your life. But the success you create in your life is going to do it for other people. And I think that's what's very important here with the Fool card. Some of you could be taking a leap of faith towards love, but we'll probably look more at that in part 2, because I don't really see love necessarily here, but again, in part 2 it could come up. Next, you have the bird flying. It says news is on the way. And you also have the moon, which says changes in your life. I don't know about you, Pisces, but lately, every single moon has been messing me up. My sleep schedule, pretty much everything. So I do feel like around the time of the moon, there could be some, or both moons this month, there could be some changes. There could be some good things coming in. I do feel like clearly there is news coming in for you, because you have the Judgment card as well. You have the Judgment card, the Star, and the Queen of Swords. This Judgment card really tells me that you're, again, revisiting something that is probably your true purpose. I feel like if you're trying to discover your purpose, number one, I always tell people our purpose here on Earth is to create our own reality. Your purpose isn't to be like a lawyer, unless that's what you truly want to be, right? Or a dentist, or whatever, society tells us we have to be. I think we're here to create our own reality. If that includes being a dentist, great, then do it. But I feel like we need to like really think about what we want to be doing. And what I would say here with the Judgment card is I feel like there's something that you've always like kind of gone back to. I feel like there's something that you always kind of think of, or that you are always drawn to as far as like career, work, or business is concerned, or maybe even just a project. You could be retired and maybe there's something that you just want to put your energy into, like writing a book or something like that. And I feel like you're kind of revisiting something. I do also feel like your life is clearly changing, because, these people are in these coffins here on the Judgment card. And they need to get out of the coffin. The whole point of the Judgment card is that the coffin represents their old life. If they get out of the coffin, if they answer the call here, then they will be stepping into their new life. You also have the Star here. I get a very strange feeling on this card. It's like, no, you can't wait. It's almost like I feel like I'm about to go bungee jumping, and it's like, I want to hesitate. I don't want to go over the edge, but it's like there's a person there that's like, no, I'm pushing you off. You're going, and that's like the feeling I get on the Star card. So for some of you, I feel like there is kind of this element of not really being able to ease into something. It's almost like there isn't a plan, and that's what's popping into my head. Again, I know that's not what the Star card means. I read intuitively. I read whatever pops into my head. I feel like the reason the Star card is coming up is because whatever you're doing, clearly, you have the Star card and the Strength card. Both cards represent showing off, being an inspiration for other people. Strength card, she has her hands in a lion's mouth. And I always say, like, who in their right mind would put their hands in a lion's mouth? So you're not showing off in a bad way. You're showing off in a good way. Maybe you're accomplishing something that's considered to be very challenging or difficult for most people. And by accomplishing something, you're kind of giving permission for other people to do it. I think maybe the biggest challenge here is, again, no plan is how it's popping into my head right now. So it's like maybe you want things to be planned out. Maybe you want a process to follow. But there's this need to kind of just like, you're like flying by the seat of your pants, right? It's like you're kind of having to just go do something without really having a plan. So that's how I see it for a lot of you. The good news is you have the Queen of Swords. I feel this is probably the most important card here in your reading. It's almost saying to me that you finally have clarity on what you're supposed to be doing. So it's like you might not have a solid plan, but I feel the goal, the wish, the direction is in your head. I feel like you understand like what you want to accomplish. I feel like you understand what your kind of dreams look like, or what a dream life could look like, and you're starting to kind of look that direction. I also see you kind of like cutting things out. If you look here, we have the Strength card to the Wheel of Fortune to the Queen of Swords. It's kind of hard to see because I have my camera. I actually hit it with my foot before I started your reading, and so it's actually shifted this way. You can't really tell, so it's cutting off the bottom. Anyway, long story short, that Queen of Swords, she has her back to the entire reading. She has her back to everything in the past. So I get this feeling of kind of, it's like I feel like you're realizing what your old story is, and you're realizing what you want your new story to be. And the Queen of Swords, I feel, is just you saying, okay, I'm getting rid of the old story, and we're going to focus on the new story, which is what I actually want, whatever that is for you, Pisces. So I feel like that's what you're kind of doing here with this reading. I would also say that you have the Ace of Wands with the Fool. The Ace of Wands is kind of like just something you're passionate about. There is no explanation here, and those are literally the words that are popping into my head. I get this like fear of judgment or something popping into my head. It's like you have this idea, you want to start this business or whatever, but it's like maybe you've started 100 businesses and your family is like, you need to get a job. Been there, right? So I feel like this is saying, it's like, this is kind of like one of those moments where you feel inspired to do something. Maybe everybody is saying don't do it. I would do it anyway, but I'm a risk taker, and if you're not a risk taker, then don't. But I kind of feel there's a need to kind of like take a leap of faith towards your dream life. But I like where this is going, Pisces. Part 2 is in the description down below.